Hey, how's everybody going? This is B from Kongs R Us again, and I'm doing another live modding session. And the reason why is because I am such a YouTube boob and a noob that my audio was really terrible in the first stream. And you know why? It's because I didn't have my microphone actually set up in the right spot last time. I had it set up on this side, but it was actually facing the opposite direction of where I was talking the entire stream. So then I was watching the replay and I had my good buddy Chris Nye was telling me, messaging me, he was like, man, the audio is really bad. You should get a mixer. And yeah, I was like, oh man, why was the sound so bad? And I realized I always forget that like I just had been investing in upgrading in some of my equipment. And mad props to all the folks that really do YouTube streaming and spend a lot of time making their streams look great. I feel like I'm getting better every time. I'm still learning like a sponge. I appreciate folks that are watching right now. But that's the reason why the earlier stream this morning for folks that may have caught that sounded so bad. So I've repositioned my microphone. I want to give some quick props to the Tech Buzz, Stephen Hayward. I had a meeting with him and just pinged him because his setup, if you guys have never seen the Tech Buzz, he is a professional broadcaster. And so he has all the professional level equipment in his studio with microphones and PTZ cameras that you can point automatically with remotes. So, I mean, those streams are like high quality and using OBS for setting everything up. And I am learning the arts, if you can, of the live stream. So we can read lips, George. What does that mean? Does that mean you can't hear me right now? Does that mean my audio is not even playing? So this is just me, like not even doing anything. What's up, Adam? Flan Gamers. That's gonna be the thing now? So all right, maybe I can take a picture and show you guys just because you guys are here. But I was on the Super Game Room Dudes show last week. This is or yesterday, and P-Dubs was really awesome. And after the entire show, a couple weeks ago when he did his OnlyFans thing and they posted t-shirts, I would say, hey, I'll order a t-shirt if you make a woman's size one for Mrs. Kongzerus to wear. And lo and behold, P-Dubs followed through and sent me a picture or sent me a free t-shirt of the OnlyFans t-shirts. And so instead I was trying to message him because he'll probably do a preview next week, but here's Mrs. Kongzerus, if you will, wearing the OnlyFans t-shirts. You'll see a better, clearer version of it on their stream next week. So in case you're looking for Mrs. Kongzerus in a OnlyFans t-shirt, you'll have to wait till next week for the better version when I'll let P-Dubs and team play that. But that's the little sneak peek of Mrs. Kongzerus wearing the OnlyFans t-shirt from the Super Game Room Dude. So those guys are awesome. All right. And hey, good to know. Thanks for checking my audio. Shane was just checking out Kyo Daikin's stream. Man, so yeah, the extra shmups that I added to the Die 4 setup. So he's the only one because I do unique stuff for Bobby. Bobby asks me for favors and things all the time because he hooks me up with so much stuff. I have to return the favor. But Bobby's a huge shoot 'em up fan. He has a dedicated Raiden build. And so I just took, I think there's a build called Big Shmups or Big Cage Shmups. And I just pretty much took a lot of the vertical shooters and shmups that were there and dropped them into his specific LaunchBox big box build. You can play shmups with the yoke. It's decent. It's not the best, right? Because you don't have as tight of the controls. You have to like kind of swing it around really hard. But it's still fun. So I have a limited number of shmups, like my favorite top shmups that I added into my playlist. So the Raiden, some of the good ones that I really like. But there's hundreds, if not thousands, of shoot 'em ups from every type of shmup genre and things. And so his has every single one. And Bobby is a collector, purveyor of builds and things. So he doesn't mind having the hundreds and thousands of games, lifetimes of games to search through. Versus when I was trying to build a playlist, I wanted to keep it kind of concise as much as possible. Awesome. Adam saw the picture and was like, wow, that's just a sneak peek. All right, so today, again, for those that are tuning in, very chill. I have about like an hour and a half to kill because on Saturdays, my family heads out and likes to do some play dates. So I have some time to do some modding, and my key thing I need to do is I need to get through this playlist and update it and get it going. So I'm just gonna keep on rolling through my playlist. And if you have any questions along the way, if you have me in the background while you're doing your happy Saturday afternoon, thanks for hanging out. But I thought I'd just redeem myself with the audio for one and just keep chipping away and working at this. I probably can get through faster if I'm not YouTubing and just working on this at the same time. But what's the fun in that? I figure if I have to do some work and people are interested and in front of my PC anyways, let's just turn on the camera. Let's just turn on the share screen, answer any questions and hang out. So that's all today is, just hanging out. And the funny thing for folks that joined my last stream, I was, let me mute. Okay, so my last stream that I did, everything was fine when I was doing gameplay up until right until I did the Star Wars trilogy playlist at the very end, and then bam, of course, I got the YouTube sharing copyright for playing the Star Wars, which is fine. You know, I think it was still fun. But trilogy is awesome to play, and so I don't regret anything. So that was what happened there. So let me share my screen, share my audio, and make sure that my audio is better this time when I play games. Okay, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Perfect. Okay, so last time we ended with Sega Model 3. I probably want to do a run through of all of these games just to make sure they run through it. So sometimes I like to go playlist by playlist. Other times, if it's an emulator that has specific things set up, I like to double check on all the games. So I'll probably start with Model 3. Since we did some of the basic mapping for the racing games, I have to double check my analog shooters though. So the cool thing about Model 3 is there's two really awesome, or three shooters, if you will, because there's Star Wars Trilogy, which is an analog shooter, as well as Ocean Hunter. But the Lost World Jurassic Park is actually a lights gun game. And so I set up the Lost World Jurassic Park where you can use your yoke as a light gun, and it's really fun. So I think I'm going to start there because I really like the Lost World Jurassic Park as a game. So let's go back to our Model 3 emulator. And again, there's two ways to map Model 3 emulation. If you go into your emulators for Model 3, if you have the GUI version or the GUI, the user interface for Model 3, you can click on this and then set your controls up using the CMD window. But for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the config file, go to my supermodel.ini, which is a configuration setting, right click, go to Notepad++, and I'm going to look here and I'm going to edit my INI files for what I know support each of the different games. So let's see. This was the Star Wars analog settings. So I think that's good there. I'm going to change. So this is the gun game. So input XY. So right now button 3 and 5, 4 and 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the triggers, and then the input off screen is button 4 and 6. So before, what I did is if you're playing a light gun game, normally you have to shoot off screen to reload, right? So what I did was I set one of these top buttons to not only be off screen, but to also shoot. So when you press the button, it essentially reloads for you by just pressing the button. So you shoot off screen and you press the button at the same time. So that was really cool. So let's do that. So we're going to do input trigger. We're going to change this instead of 3, we're going to just do 1, joy button 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the input off screens are going to be input button 3 and 4, just like that. So for the yoke, again, the inputs are 1, 2 on the bottom, and these top two are 3 and 4. So these are going to be my main shootings on the bottom. And then when I press the top two, it'll shoot off screen and or reload at the same time. So that's going to be for Lost World. Let me just double check if there's anything else I need to change on here. The virtual on ones might be a little bit weird. Input analog gun. So this is for Ocean Hunter. So let's change the triggers. So 3 and 5. So this is 3 and 5 would be button number 2 and 1. And again, this is just me remembering which buttons I previously had. So 4 and 6 are my top buttons, which on the GRS yoke are 3 and 4. Okay, so that's the input analog triggers. Everything else looks good there. Input analog trigger button 1 and 2. Okay, so that's a different one. That's for left players. Skiing. So we do need to do anything for skiing. Ski pole left and right. 4 and 6. So if I want to do skiing, 4 was button. Whoops. It's going to be button. Oh yeah, that's button number 4. And then 6 is going to be button number 3. Okay. Good. Let's see. Input Magica lever. Okay, I don't think we need to do anything for that. Finishing sticks. We don't do fishing. I think that's it. All right, we're going to save this Model 3 INI. Close it for right now. Let's get into some Model 3 games for folks that are hanging out. Okay, let's do it. Let's try Lost World. This should be fun. Lost World, Jurassic Park. It's a really fun shooter. So you can see I wonder if it's set up right. I should have my mouse. Look, so I have it set up where my mouse cursor is. It's like the yoke is set up to be a mouse, and then it's kind of set up in the middle. So I kind of forget how I did this. I spent a lot of time doing this configuration setting a long time ago, but I think you have to change the input type to mouse, and then you're able to use the a button in here, and then I push this button. And there we go. Will all of this be configured with a GRS setup? Yes. So this is the reason why I'm going through this, is so that folks that get SCPL, this will all be pre-set up and plug and play. So essentially, this will work with anybody's GRS yoke, and so that's the main reason why I'm going through all this, so that you guys will have an easier time when you set it up. That's kind of part of the setup. So, all right. So I'm shooting. And I gotta reload. I gotta watch the side screen. That's what I gotta do. Tell me really quickly if my audio sounds better. So now I'm actually talking into the mic while the game is playing. And I did expert mode, which I probably shouldn't have done. But now I can shoot and reload while I'm shooting. How's the sound quality? Is it better? Shane, how do I sound? Can you hear me while I'm talking while I'm playing, or is the game sound overpowering everything? Oh yeah. Shoot the monster, This is actually really fun to play on the yoke. I like this game a lot, especially it's easy, right? You're shooting with the triggers and then you're just pressing the top buttons to reload, and it's just like a rail shooter. The game sound is perfect, but you can hear me talking over the game. Yeah, Ian's here. What's up, Ian? Ian's gonna be on my show. I'm gonna get Ian on the next level. Ooh, lightning. Ian is a 3D printing master from the UK, and we're gonna be talking 3D printing and all sorts of things related to upgrades and mods you can do. So Ian, excited to have you on next week. Pretty awesome. All right, I think we're good with this game. So one of the cool things to exit the games, I didn't mention this in my previous earlier video, but I set up my exit button as the bottom left button under the GRS yoke is my start button. So when you press it, just like individually, it will act as a start button. But if you hold it down, it transitions and changes to an escape button using joystick keys. So that's how you exit games, is that you just hold the start button and then it exits out of the game. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's just double check the rest of our Model 3 games and make sure they work. So I can cross these off my list. Harley-Davidson. No daughter bar protected. This machine is standalone. So we're doing some Model 3 emulation. We are pressing the start button. Let's go Riders. All right. I hope this works easy. We're doing the FLSTF Fat Boy. If you're playing any of these games, I highly recommend using automatic mode. It's just much easier. All right. So I have my button set to there. And I think this is just me like riding to like the certain destination. There's nothing else really too big in this game to do besides trying to get to your preferred destination. All right, let's go Harley-Davidson. Trying to get to my place. Trying to get to my marker. Let's go. Oh, so bad. I'm watching the stream version of I need to be looking to the video on my left. If you see the video on my screen is to the left, so I should be watching the live stream or the live version of the game instead of actually the stream screen. All right, there it is. 15 seconds. All right, I got to get there. Checkpoint. Oh, that's just a checkpoint. That's not the actual first one stage. All right. Second stage. Second stage. Where am I going now? This is literally the only time I get to play games is when I'm doing controller mapping. So I'm trying to enjoy playing the games as much as I can because otherwise my poor actual Star Wars machine. This is another quick story. I was doing mods and some commissions like crazy, and I had to donate the PC that I had actually in my own personal Starcade mod to a client because I needed to get it done. And so my poor Star Wars machine, the original one that I did my mod, is like an empty shell right now. It has no guts. So I've been meaning to like gut a new PC and put my playlist on it, but sadly it's just kind of sitting there by itself. Oh no. All right, let's see if I can get to the last stage. This is actually a pretty fun game. Really like decent controls, very smooth. I mean, if you like a motorcycle game, this is definitely pretty chill, fun game to play. And it looks like you're just racing to get to a location. And am I gonna get there? I'm gonna get there. 4, 3, 2. Oh no, I'm gonna fail. Oh, I can just add another coin. All right, that's good. All right, Ian asked, to get this working, is it best to add 2 extra buttons like you have so it's all mapped out and ready to go? I would say yes, if you can. Like the majority of games, I will set up with the yoke. And so on my old mod, I had 2 big red buttons here that I pretty much mapped to player or like a button 1 and 2. So adding these 2 buttons into the yoke essentially replicates my basic mod. My very first mod that I ever did had the arcade 1-up yoke with 4 buttons, and then I had 2 big red buttons here, and then I had a start and coin. So adding those 2 extra buttons is highly recommended because that will at least get you the basic setup. And if you want to throw in more buttons onto your panel, you can use a second encoder, but you would have to map those buttons out separately because I'm going to be setting up the Star Wars GRS yoke with the standard 8 buttons as much as I can. And again, you don't have to place the extra buttons back here like I have. You can install them anywhere on the panel, but this will be, again, buttons 1, 2, 3, 4 on the yoke. And then the extra buttons are 5 and 6, and then the bottom ones are 7 and 8. So all the start coins will be mapped to 7 and 8 underneath here, and 5 and 6 will have some limited functionality like view change, maybe some other things as well. I probably don't use that too often in games, but otherwise I do recommend adding those 2 extra buttons, and it's easy to do. Just watch my other videos. All right, LA Machineguns. Holy, okay, so this is one of my favorite railgun shooter games. So if you haven't played LA Machineguns, I think I saw one for sale in the LA area a couple months back, and I sent it to Bobby because this was before I had room in my garage, and it was like a full-size LA Machineguns for I think like $150 or even like $200. Like the guns alone are worth it, but it was so huge. It was like a 50-inch giant projection monitor, but it was like LA Machineguns, $200. I was like, oh my God, I need this. And I sent it to Bobby and I was like, Bobby, you got to go pick this up. And then he offered it. And I think he got it down even cheaper, but he didn't have room to pick it up. And then it sold the next day. And I was like, no, LA Machineguns would have been so freaking badass to get. I should have bought it just to like part out and get the guns, because then I could have used the guns for something else. Instead, I paid, I think $150 or $175 each for those alien pedestal guns that I'm getting that have the LED counters and a little bit better. They're the AliExpress ones that Retro Ralph had mentioned as well. But I could have had an LA Machineguns, but all right, that's my LA Machinegun story. But otherwise, if you don't, you have it on this playlist there, or you can play it on the yoke. I like railguns on the yoke. I actually really like playing railgun games. So, you know, railgun games are like Terminator 2 or Revolution X. I think the original Aliens was a light gun game. Maybe it was a railgun game, but it's anything that uses like an analog pot signal to shoot instead of being a light gun game. So like these games are perfect for the yoke, just because like the on-screen trigger or the cursor is exactly meant what the yoke was designed for. Like if you remember the original Star Wars arcade, essentially you had a cursor on the screen and you were shooting stuff just like this. So railgun shooters with the cursor on the screen, any of those types of games are absolutely fantastic to play with the yoke. So this is absolutely a favorite to play with the yoke. It works really well, especially because the on-screen cursor is there. It looks really natural. So this is a really fun game. I remember playing this through for the first time with my son, and I had a second player just using like a second. I think I just plugged in a second controller just to play it, and he was using the yoke. And so yeah, it's fun. Oh, I plugged in like a mini like a joystick, like a flight joystick, like just a USB one, just to have an analog signal for a second player. So you could play two players on this if you wanted to. If you wanted to plug in a second controller and just set up another player 2 controls to that, you could actually have two players playing on this, but one person on the yoke, one person on, you know, whatever else you have. Or you could plug in two GRS yokes. Oh, I have a second GRS yoke. Oh, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do... I don't know. I'm trying to think out loud. Maybe I do have multiple yokes now. So maybe a future project will be mapping out a second full-on thing where for games like this, it would maybe share a screen. I'm just doing second player, but then it would just sit there when I'm not using it though. So I don't know. I have to think. This is me just thinking out loud and not having any idea. Oh, I love this comment from Brad. What's up, Brad? Brad says B can play any game with the yoke. This is true. If I would take that challenge on if there's a game that you want to play with the yoke. Oh, who was it that posted? I think it was Greg Zager for 99 Lives posted somebody trying to play Street Fighter 2 using a yoke and just seeing if they can do like fireballs and combos, and they did it. So that would be fun. Fun. This is a Facebook user that says, would you rate your builds on a ranger of 1 being easy to 10 being difficult? Where would you rate it for a novice? Good question. I would say I had, like, when I started doing my original Arcade 1-Up mods, I had very little experience when I started this adventure, honestly. Like, I did my first mod, which was a Raspberry Pi mod, in I think January, early February of last year. And that was my first time modding, drilling into a panel. I did a Street Fighter and a TMNT mod that I just did the, you know, original ETA Prime tutorial. So I mean, we know that that's like basic level number 1. And then I jumped into doing the yoke mod by just experimenting. I think in March is when I started it. And then, you know, using those basic skills, I was able to figure out the emulation side of stuff and controller mapping. So if you have like the desire and the basic skills, I think anybody could do my mod, like the actual original Arcade 1-Up one. And honestly, the APAC was intimidating at first, but it's definitely easier to understand once you break it down. And then using the Geek Pie is even easier than the original APAC. And I've been working with my clients to work on existing commissions and mod kits to get people out there. And I still want to record a brand new 2021 tutorial using the Geek Pie for anybody that wants to do it themselves. But that one's even straight easier. You just have to do some more custom wiring. So on a scale of 1 to 10, that's a really long answer. I would say maybe I don't know if I don't want to put a number on it, but like maybe 5 or 6. I think it would be a little bit more on the maybe between 6 and 9 than it would be on the lower side. Just because you have to have some basic experience with drilling into your panel if you want to wire up the yokes. I'd say the old APAC mod was like about a 7, and then the Geek Pie would be like about a 4 or 5. How's that if I had to put anything to it? So that's my short answer. Has Dead Storm Pirates been emulated yet? I haven't even heard of that game yet, so I will have to look that up and see. I'm not even sure what that game is, Ian. So I will look it up. If you have more info about it and want to send it to me, happy to kind of do some research. I always like that. Okay, so we just did LA Machine Guns. Let's do Le Mans 24. So this was a racing game that I had set up. And it's not running. see, this is why I do testing, because I'm trying to run a game and it just kind of blipped up and it blipped off, which means it's not set up correctly. What's going on? All right. Le Mans 24, what's wrong with you? No. All right. All right. So let's go to our edited file and double check how this game is launching. So this is using Le Mans 24 zip in the Sega Model 3 folder. So let's go to that file folder structure. Here, games, Sega Model 3, and it's Le Mans 24 zip. Zip, 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 zip. Okay. Yeah, that looks right. That looks right. Okay. Okay. Start. This is why I hate emulation stuff. Why? Why? What's going on? Maybe this is the wrong version. It's been a while since I've tested these games. So sometimes, like, at one point they all worked and now they're not. So now I don't know why it's not working. Somebody was asking, can I run Time Crisis on my Star Wars cab? Absolutely, I can. And I have it on my playlist. So I'll do some Time Crisis in a second. But let me see. See, this is where I'm going to suck up like 10 minutes because I'm going to go down the rabbit hole trying to fix Le Mans 24 and figure out why it's not working. So let me check my emulator for Sega Model 3. Open this up and see if I can run it from here. All right, Super Model 3, that's removing that. Opened. And this is saying here, it cannot, ignoring games because it is missing files, no complete sim model, game 3s, found in LaunchBox games, Le Mans 24. Huh. This EPR 1826.1 bin file is what's missing in this version. I have to go look and see if I have another copy of this game then. So if that's the issue, I'm gonna have to make notes. I think I did this earlier when I had notes and I was making kind of issues because it would take me a while to like track down what's going on. So I have a where is it? A little text file, a notepad file for issues. So I'm gonna make that issue. So Le Mans 24 Sega Model 3. Right, not launching. Check ROM file. All right, making a note. Sorry, this is it's boring, but it's live modding. All right. So let's switch over. I need to do the rest of these, but since somebody asked if I can run Time Crisis, I can. Check it out. So I have Time Crisis running on, I believe, just regular good old MAME. I think so. Do I? This is set up here. It would be under my T. Yeah, Time Crisis 1 is here. So Time Crisis 1 runs really well on MAME. Time Crisis 2, not so much. So if I open up this and it runs in MAME, and then I hit my tab key, I can go to this game's controls, map out my buttons and my triggers. I'm gonna make my bottom trigger, my bottom two the triggers, and I'm gonna make the foot pedal, which is all super important, the little top buttons on the yoke. So Time Crisis is really fun to play with the yoke. So check this out. Here we go. Insert 3 coins. We're moving this. We're gonna do story mode, do some Time Crisis. And then I have the top triggers as the reload, shoot screen, and fast forward. Okay, so it's down and I gotta hold the pedal to shoot. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, pow, pow. So yeah, even though this is a light gun game, like with the cursor on the screen, you can almost make it like a railgun shooter. But just inherently with like light gun games, you need to be like quick with moving your gun. And so as long as you can move your cursor as quickly as you can across the screen, you can play light gun games using a yoke. You can, I have a really decent library, and especially for games like this where once you shoot them, they kind of take a couple of shots to kick back. I also have Area 51 maximum force on here, but those are decent, but sometimes a little bit harder to play. But Time Crisis is really fun. Oh, another good light gun game that I have Virtual Cop 1 and 2. Those are pretty fun because it has a cursor on the screen that like the people are about to shoot you. So Virtual Cop 1 and 2 are pretty fun to play as well. Time Crisis on a yoke. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Area 1, clear. Did it. All right. And then when you're done, just hold down your start button, exit the game. Simple, simple, simple. All right, I'm going to go back to Sega Model 3 for right now. So let me know in chat if you guys are watching and you guys want to see any particular games or potential games. I can let you know if I have it, but I'm just going to run through the rest of my list, make sure everything works. All right, so Le Mans does not work. The Ocean Hunter. This one sometimes has graphical errors in it. So this is a really fun rail shooter as well. Uses kind of like analog gun game, like what was it? LA Machineguns, and you just kind of shoot. So this is a really fun game too. Here we go. I already have credits in here. Oh yeah, so for Model 3 though, here's the thing. I just dropped in a bunch of credits. So Model 3 remembers how many credits you dump into it. So if you're playing Model 3 games and you dump in a lot of coins, it might run into issues with games like Star Wars Trilogy, but nothing I can see. So you see how the black background is kind of black and it has like those bars. So I don't think there's anything I can do. Or I got to see if I can work on an updated ROM file because it's black in the background. But I've seen this as an issue, and I don't quite know how to fix it. But I have my yoke, and I can shoot the sharks, but I have a black background. So I'm going to have to make a note. So I don't know if there's a version of this where I can run. Maybe I just had to start off afresh with the new Model 3 kind of set, because otherwise I've seen this black issue or black background issue on a lot of my newer builds, but not I've seen it before where it doesn't have that on a couple of my builds previously. Come on. Oh, that guy totally got eaten. Come on, shark. Come on, shark. And his hand is missing too. All right, so let's exit out of this. Let's exit out of here. Hydro Thunder. Gotta shoot the stack on the forklift. Oh, what's up, Big Red? I'm thanks for the tips because I don't play these games enough to know what I should be doing. There's some games that I'm really good at, but yeah, a lot of these is just surface level knowledge. Gotta get there. Somebody's asking about Hydro Thunder. I actually don't have Hydro Thunder on here, so I think people have been asking for that. Maybe in a future build I don't have it. I have H2 Overdrive, which is a techno version. So Hydro Thunder, I will definitely have to look at the Hydro Thunder series and see, because I think those would be really fun to play on here as well. So I'm gonna just make a quick note about Ocean Hunter and the background. Ocean Hunter, Sega Model 3, black background. This is for me to kind of see if I can fix in the future because it's gonna take too much time while I'm doing this. So the focus now is just testing and making sure the controls work, doing some live gameplay, hanging out on a Saturday. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday so far. Scud Racing. Sega Model 3 is an awesome emulator. And Model 2 too. I think Sega Model 2 and Sega Model 3 are probably by far like top 5 emulated game sets that there. If you've not played Model 3 or Model 2 games, they are super fun. All right, let's try Scud Racer. Scud. A lot of this is in Nihongo, in Japanese, but you can still play the game and enjoy it. Okay. Racing and rolling, accelerating on. All right, here we go. Accelerating on. 3, 2, 1. Go. All right, so I'm just checking controls. Left and right are pretty smooth. I know it probably looks choppy on the screen or on the stream itself, but the game plays super smooth. It looks really nice on my screen over here. Maybe not as much on the stream because I'm actually watching the stream through StreamYard. But otherwise, oh yeah, and so I set up where I set my view angle changes to the bottom buttons. So you can change the view of your car. So this will go back out. Maybe this one is another view change button. I kind of forget what I set to my view change button. Oh, there it is. There's another version of the view. Lap extension. Maybe that's my favorite. I actually like the third person like angle when I'm driving mostly. So I don't know how to get it back to that third one. Maybe I gotta check my VR controls. Maybe I did not map out all the controls for changing the view angles for these, but at least it's working. Okay, cool. Dang, I suck. How long have I been off stream? Man, I've been talking this whole time and I'm like, my thing. Man, I'm so bad at YouTube. Killer Arcade Games is here and says, you can get a lot of mileage out of that Star Wars cab. See what I did there? Dad joke. Cag, what's up, man? Thanks for joining and doing the review of Starcade playlist. I'm not as polished as a YouTuber as many of those other folks out there, but I appreciate you following. But yeah, I'm doing a version of the playlist for the GRS Yoke, and we're just mapping. We're having some fun. You're wondering what happened. I just left you guys hanging while I was doing some controller mapping to see if you can figure out what I was doing. All right, so this is Sega Rally 2. Chillin', chillin', chillin'. All right, Sega Rally 2. Loading up. Coin. Looks okay. Looks decent. We use the Ford Escort. Again, I like to play everything in manual mode. It just makes things a little bit easier. I think there might be some graphical things with this game that are a little bit off. But yeah, you see how it's a little bit glitchy on the graphics? And I don't know if you can actually change the view. Oh, there you can. So yeah, I have the view change, but even though it runs smooth, the graphics have some glitches. So there's again, nothing in emulation is ever 100% perfect, but at least you can drift. But the Model 3 system runs really well. So gameplay is actually really smooth. I probably would just need to check. I might try to look for a clean ROM set. Maybe that's my issue. So when I was really setting up and doing my mods for the first time, I think Model 3 was one of the very first ROM sets that I was messing with. And so from there, maybe that's the issue. But again, for folks that were interested in running their own stuff, you have to make sure folks are finding their own things on their own. All right, so this game plays well. Just the glitches, so that's cool. We just wanted to check. Yes, Killer says, I had a call and thought I was taking a break, and you're not great either, but streaming is always a learning experience, isn't it? Isn't it always fun? And yeah, I'm not even doing capture card. I probably should be running capture card on this, but I'm literally just streaming it and using the live internet stream. So I probably could be doing a much better job of doing a capture card, but we'll need to test it out. So for Ski Champ, this is one of those games where you actually have to press the test button. I think it's actually like 6 on your keyboard, and then it's going to bypass that screen. So this is one of those games where I don't know how to turn that off, but I have to make a note just to make sure. So Sega Rally 2, glitchy, Ski Champ. Hit me to press test button or keyboard 6. Keyboard number 6. So I'm just making notes as well. All right, here's Ski Champ. Let's test it out. And this is kind of weird because again, you're playing with the yoke, and it's not really meant for these types of games, but you can do it. Like you can play anything, any type of racing game if you're just moving left and right and have some sort of like downward like momentum. Like I think I have a skateboard game on here. Those are pretty fun. All right, here we go. We are moving to the left. So I have this button. So left pull, right pull, and then leaning more to the left. Then it's just left and right. So it's almost like a racing game. That's it. That's it. And I'm skiing. Woohoo. Ski Champ on a yoke. Oh, yo. Oh, yo. So yeah, it's just pull left and right. Go, 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 go. Zigzag, zigzag. Left, right. Okay. We're done. We're done with Ski Champ. We're testing it out. Brent, you're asking about these images if they're available. So yeah, I do have my LaunchBox build available. So I have a link in the description to my Facebook group on how to grab it. So go ahead and check that out. I have more information on grabbing the LaunchBox custom build. All right, so this is Virtual On now. This is the Virtual On 2. It's like the sequel. The original Virtual On is on Sega Model 2. So I'm hoping the controls work on the yoke. I've been mapping out some of the tank controls to use like the yoke, because normally this is a dual stick game. If you remember Virtual On, it's like two sticks that in combination you control your giant mech and you shoot and you jump. But that's hard to do with the yoke. So I learned how to map tank controls using like a single controller. So now you can emulate like tank games using the yoke. So I remember I think Chris from Killer Arcade Games was saying you'll probably never play the tank games list, but don't knock it till you try it. Try some of the tank games playing the yoke. It's actually a lot funner than I expected. These games like Virtual On are actually, it was more of a labor of love to just add them, but they're not fantastically great to play on a yoke. I'll say that much. But the fact that you can do it is awesome. All right, select your mech. All right, let's select this big green guy and see if we can do this. Floating carrier. Okay, here we go. So if I move to the left, to the right, and this is my shoot button, and that's jump. All right, and then I believe moving forward, backwards, and then I have my top 2 buttons as the strafing to the left and to the right. So that's strafe left. So this is jump, 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 jump. So you can kind of still play. You can go backwards. I gotta check this top left button though. My strafe right is not working correctly, because normally I would have this top right button as my strafe left, and then that way I can move left, right, up, down, and I can jump. So if you can do forward, back, you can turn, and then use these buttons to move left and right is kind of like how you ideally would set up. Let's shoot one more time. Boom, got him. All right, we actually beat it. So that's cool. So you can play Virtual On using a yoke. Not bad. let's go back and check the controls for Model 3 one more time. All right. Thanks for joining, Chris. Check it out. Have a good day, man. All right. Supermodel INI. So we're going to Notepad. Let's go ahead and check our virtual on controls. So twin joystick, turn left, strife right. Oh, I had it as button 6. So yeah, I need to change this to button 3. And now I'll be able to strafe to the left and to the right on the joystick mod. So button 2 is jump, and then crouch is button 7. Because I want my shooting. So that's so you can't crouch. That's the other thing. All right. So button number 7 would be. Let's see, joy button number 7. I might have to make it these buttons over here. So that would be button number 5, 6 would be crouch. And then my shot button is 1 and 2. Yeah, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Because like you're normally supposed to have like 2 trigger buttons, but that's going to be really hard to do. I'm going to make my turbo button also button number 1 and 2. Turbo 1, 2, button number 5 as turbo 2. Okay. Because then you need to be able to jump. That's the thing. This is going to be tough. Yeah, this is where you really need some dual stick. This is where I'm running out of buttons to actually do a true dual stick. So because I want to be able to jump, which is button 2, but I also want to be able to shoot. So maybe I can make jump and then button number 2, the shot at the same time. And then turbo would just be button number 2, button number 1. So you turbo while you're shooting button number 1, and you jump while you're shooting button number 2. And then turbo will be 5 and 6. All right. I think that's how I'm going to set it up. Let's try it out. I'm curious if I can do this. So sometimes if you can't make it perfect, then you can kind of combine inputs. So what I'm trying to do here, since I'm limited on inputs, was setting my trigger for shooting as the same button as you would turbo. And then my button on the left would be the same as jumping and shooting button number 2. And then crouching would be this button number 6. So let's try it one more time. Oh, the joys of mapping, the controller mapping joys of playing. Initializing 27, 29. That's the other thing about these arcade games. When you're emulating them and it's running the real arcade hardware and you're seeing the boot up screens, some of these boot up screens take forever to load. And I was like, man, I guess if you're an arcade operator and you plug in your arcade machine for the day, the beginning, I can just imagine what it was like being an arcade operator and like flipping everything on, just seeing everything go through the boot cycle. I would love to eventually talk to a real arcade operator and see kind of what that was like. I wonder, that was such a huge thing back in the day for folks, and they don't exist anymore. Arcade operators are like the Dave and Buster's employees now, the ones that kind of are getting paid minimum wage and don't like their jobs. Not that true passion like you saw in Wreck-It Ralph and other things. All right, let's enter some coins. Here we go. Temjin is the virtual joy. This is the marquee fighter. So this, I'm going to, so I turn on my turbo and shoot at the same time. So that's good. Let's jump, and shoot at the same time. I like it. Okay, cool. So then I can move to the left, can move to the right, up, down, jump, and shoot. Boom. Okay, so I'm double duty. If I want to crouch, I can crouch. No, I can't crouch. Is this one crouch? How can I set that up to a crouch button? Oh, I'm actually getting, I'm doing worse this round. Come on, attack. I have not hit this guy at all once. Come on. Maybe because I keep jumping. All right, maybe I can't combine my main shooting with the jump thing. That was just a little bit off. Okay. That did not go as planned. I lost really, really bad. Oh, all right. Back to the drawing board. Maybe maybe I'll set that up with something else. So I had my button 1 as shot 1, shot 2, and made that jump as well too. I still want a jump button. Maybe I'll make the jump button the same as the top one is strafing left or right. And that way it'll be kind of combined, jumping to the left or to the right. So let's make jump button number 4. And we will make turbo button number 3. Okay, so if I do that, I leave 1 and 2 as the main shooting buttons because I want those to be very independent. Okay, last time for virtual on, I promise, and then we'll head out to do something else. And if you guys have to do something else, that's cool. Thanks for hanging out and checking it out. Dang, can't believe it's already been an hour. Crap, I don't even know if I have that much more time to hang out. At least I can get through the Model 3 games. I think there's just one more Model 3. Oh, I think this might be the last Model 3 game, and then I can get into Model 2. Model 2 would take a long time because it's individual games. But for Model 2, again, all I have to do is just change the starting coin for most of those games, but testing them out, it's going to be a big time suck. Maybe I'll go back and finish the classic racing ones that we do after this too. So I have classic racing to do, classic shooters, modern shooters are pretty taken care of, modern racers are pretty taken care of. I still need to do Mario Kart and Star Fox. So I'd say overall, I'm testing my playlist maybe about 60% through. I want to say I probably can get through a lot faster again if I'm not doing these streams, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Let's try it out one more time. I want to play virtual on, and I want to beat these guys. I want to beat them down. Let's beat them down.
Get ready.
Pew, pew, pew. Okay. Okay, so that's shot 2. That's much better. All right. Okay, jump, strafe, and then jump. Is that jump? Oh, it's not jumping though. At least I'm actually doing a little bit better this time. So this main shot is like my shot 2. Oh, so I can turbo to the left. But jump, I want to jump. Make me jump. Come on, I want to go left and jump. Come on. You need to be able to jump in order to maybe I need a just dedicated jump button. All right, at least I won, but I still can't jump. Maybe I have to make jump one of these big buttons here and just be a standalone. So I'll make button 5 and 6. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just make those dedicated buttons instead. So back to my I&I, twin stick, strafe left and right. I'm gonna make jump button number 5, and then I'm not gonna do a crouch button. So we're just gonna make this button number. I can make this another coin button. No, start. I'll make this. I think I can do that. I can make a crouch a start button, and then I will make the jump button. We made jump number 5 and then turbo number 6. Turbo as 6. Where is it? Turbo. There it is. Button number 5. We'll do button number 6 for both of these. Button 6. Button 6. All right, that's it. We're done. Done with Model 3. We did it. We did all the Model 3 games. Okay, what do I want to do next? Model 2, let's go back to our playlist and see what else I have going on. All right, it's already been an hour, and I think my family's already back home. Dang it, I thought I would have more time. This is another just quick session to see what else I got going on. Let's see, let's go into ride and shoot. Oh yeah, these would be fun. This might be a fun quick list to do. The PlayStation ones might take a little bit of time to double check, but I can double check these other ones like Badlands, luck and wow. Let's do Stun Runner. My goodness, I've been talking about Stun Runner so much. I haven't played this in a while. Now I'm skipping around. I'm gonna have to remember what I did, but I really want to play some Stun Runner right now. So this will be the last game that I do. Map out some controls. So we got button 1, and then button 2, just as the top yoke controllers. Start and coin, and that's it. Let's play some Stun Runner. Credits. Boom, boom. Dot.
Welcome.
Dot. Welcome. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, very sensitive controls. Moving to the left and to the right. Room. Okay. Cool. Hi. You want to come in and say hello?
You have completed level 1.
What's going on? I'm playing some Stun Runner. You guys are back so early. Oh, okay. Alright. I might need to adjust the analog settings on this. It feels really sensitive. So I'm moving to the left and to the right, and they feel super sensitive. I'm gonna check that really fast. I'm gonna go to tab, analog controls, X center speed. Let's cut this in half. See if that improves it. All right, that feels much better actually. Yes. So I must play with the settings a little bit. That feels much better. Stun Runner. Oh my goodness. I really want to make a 3/4 scale Stun Runner cab. This would be awesome. Playing a 3/4 scale Stun Runner at home. 6 shields remaining. Pew pew pew. Let's go. This game is so iconic. I remember playing this so much in the arcade. I was like loving the way it looked. Playing with the yoke control. To shoot those guys. These metal ones I don't think you can shoot. You just gotta go around them. Room. I just love the look of Stun Runner. I remember when I was building Legos as a kid, one of the go-to Lego ships I would try to emulate was building a Stun Runner looking type of ship. Armored drone is indestructible. Thank you for letting me know that. Room. Go. And fun. Alright, that was fun. Love me some Stun Runner. That's awesome. Okay. Alright. I can't believe I've been at this for an hour and all I got through was just Model 3 games. Family's back in the house. So I'm just going to call it a day. Hopefully the stream quality was much better with my audio mic being in front of me. Thanks for hanging out and chilling, guys. I'll see you guys next time. And yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. See you guys later.